Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Nasta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamas Loke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Hari Om Tat Sat. Reading from 1 Canto 1, Chapter 3, Krishna, Source of all incarnations, verse number 10, 11, and 12. Okay. Panchama Kapilo Nama Siddesha Kala Viplutam Provacha Asuraye Sankyam Tattva Grama Vinirnayam. Panchama Kapilo Nama Siddesha Kala Viplutam Provacha Asuraye Sankyam Tattva Grama Vinirnayam. Panchama Kapilo Nama Siddesho Kala Viplutam Provacha Asuraye Sankyam Tattva Grama Vinirnayam. Word to word. Panchama, the fifth one, Kapila, Nama of the name, Siddesha, the foremost among the perfect, Kala, time, Viplutam, lost, Provacha, said, Asuraye, unto the Brahmana named Asuri, Sankyam, metaphysics, Tattva Grama, the sum total of creative elements, Vinirnayam, exposition. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. The fifth incarnation, named Lord Kapila, is the foremost among perfected beings. He gave an exposition of the creative elements and metaphysics to Asuri Brahmana. That doesn't mean demon Brahmana. Name itself, his name, Brahmana's name is Asuri Brahmana. For in course of time, this knowledge had been lost. Please repeat. The fifth incarnation, named Lord Kapila, is foremost among perfected beings. He gave an exposition of the creative elements and metaphysics to Asuri Brahmana. For in course of time, this knowledge has been lost. Small purport, we'll quickly read. The sum total of creative elements is 24 in all. Each and every one of them is explicitly explained in the system of Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya philosophy is generally called metaphysics by the European scholars. The etymological meaning of Sankhya is that which explains very lucidly by analysis of material elements. This was done for the first time by Lord Kapila, who is said herein to be the fifth in line of incarnations. Verse number 11. Sastam matrer apatyatvam vrata prapto anasuyaya anvikshikam alarkaya prahlada adibhyam uchivan. Sastam atrerapatyatvam vrata prapto anasuyava anviksham alarkaya prahlada adibhya uchivan. Let me post something. Sastam atrerapatyatvam vrata prapto anasuyava anivikshim alarkyaya praladadibhya uchivan. What word? Sastam, the sixth one, atre of atri, apatyatvam, sonship, vrata, being prayed for, prapta, obtained, anasuyaya, by Anasuya, Anvikshikam, on the subject of transcendence, Alarkaya, unto Alarka, Pralada Adibhya, unto Pralada and others, which one spoke. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The sixth uh, incarnation of Purusha was the son of sage Atri. He was born from the womb of Anasuya, who prayed for an incarnation. He spoke on the subject of transcendence to Alarka, Prahlada, and others, Yadu and Haihaya. Please repeat. The sixth incarnation of the Purusha was the son of sage Atri. He was born from the womb of Anasuya, who prayed for an incarnation. He spoke on the subject of transcendence to Alarka, Prahlada, and others, Yadu and Haihaya, etc. Lord incarnated himself as Dattatreya, the son of Rishi Atri and Anasuya. The history of birth of Dattatreya as an incarnation of the Lord is mentioned in the Brahmanda Purana in connection with the story of the devoted wife. It is said there that Anasuya, the wife of Rishi Atri, prayed before the Lords Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva as follows: My lords, if you are pleased with me, and if you desire me to ask from you some sort of blessing, then I pray that you combine together to become my son. This was accepted by the lords, and as Dattatreya, the Lord expounded the philosophy of the spirit soul and especially instructed Alarka, Prahlada, Yadu, Aiheya, etc. Verse number 12. तथा सप्तम आकुत्यां रुचेर्यज्ञो अभ्यजायत सा यामाद्यैसुरगणैरपास्वायम्भुवान्तरम् तथा सप्तम आकुत्यां रुचेर्यज्ञो अभ्यजायत सा यामाद्यैसुरगणैरपास्वायम्भुवान्तरम्. Tata, after that, Saptame, seventh in the line, Akutyam, in the womb of Akuti, Ruchi, by the Prajapati Ruchi, Yajna, the Lord's incarnation is Yajna, Abhyajayata, advented, Sa, he, Yama Adyi, with Yama and others, Suraganai, with demigods, Apat, ruled, Swayambhuva Antaram, the change of the period of Swayambhu Manu. Translation by Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The seventh incarnation was Yajna, the son of Prajapati Ruchi, and his wife Akuti. He controlled the period during the change of the Swayambhu Manu and was assisted by demigods such as his son Yama. Purport. Please repeat. The seventh incarnation was Yajna, the son of Prajapati Ruchi, and his wife Akuti. He controlled the period during the change of the Swayambhu Manu and was assisted by demigods such as his son Yama. The administrative posts occupied by the demigod for maintaining the regulations of the material world are offered to the highly elevated pious living beings. When there is a scarcity of such pious living beings, the Lord incarnates himself as Brahma, Prajapati, Indra, etc. and takes up the charge. During the period of Swayambhu Manu, the present period is of Vaivasvata Manu. There was no suitable living being who could occupy the post of Indra, the king of the Indraloka, heaven planet. The Lord himself at that time became Indra, assisted by his own sons like Yama and other demigod. The Lord Yajna ruled the administration of the universal affairs. Yeah. Try to understand these three verses. Om Jnanatimandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Krupa Tamham Vande Sri Gurum Denatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyeswaram Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Krupa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं श्री रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. So this is Canto 1, we are in Creation, Chapter 3. So Krishna is source of all incarnations. The 6 questions asked by Saunakanda the Rishi in the first chapter has been addressed already briefly. Pretty much, especially 4 questions were answered in the second chapter briefly, and then the 2 questions are answered in this chapter. So we're continuing from the before week. So now today is being described 5th, 6th, and 7th incarnation. 5th, 6th, 7th. 5th one is Lord Kapila, to expounded Sankhya philosophy. And then 7th one was Lord Dattatreya, son of Atri and Anasuya. And 8th one is Yajna. So these are the 3. Lord himself has taken these 3 incarnations. First we'll understand the 6th incarnation about Lord Kapila. Then we'll also try to cover today's Varaha Dwadasi. The instructions from Lord Varaha. This morning we already covered the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taking Lord Varaha's form from 2 different books, Chaitanya Mangal and Chaitanya Bhagavat. So in the morning, early morning class 6 to 6:30. So yeah. So now first we are talking about Kapila, Lord Kapila. Panchamo Kapilo Nama Siddesha Kala Viplutam Provacha Asuraye Sankyam Tattva Grama Vinirnayam. So Kapila is actually is instructed the Sankhya philosophy is mentioned as Siddha, is perfected beings. In Bhagavad Gita there is a verse where it talks about out of all the Siddhas I am Kapila. So Siddha means perfected beings. So Lord himself, we have to go to the background of Lord Kapila. There is a nice instructions of who is the Lord, who is Kapila actually. Son of Devahuti Putra Kapila. There is atheistic Kapila also who propounded wrong theory. It is not Sankhya philosophy. What is Sankhya? First of all, let's understand. Sankhya means sum, means complete. Kya means description. The complete description of the material elements, complete description of how this material world has been created. So what are those material elements? When the Lord Mahavishnu glances on the material substance, Mahatattva, unmanifested form, then by his glance it manifests and he sends time factor. Maya aramanasana viyogastaya saha atmana ramaya raime takta kalam sisruddrakshaya. Brahma Samhita, verse number 6 or 7. So it has been described as he sends that glance as a time factor. Then immediately 3 modes of material nature starts cooking that pradhana. Until that point it is staying like cloud. Cloud is initially not there, suddenly appears. Because sun is evaporating the water from the ocean of the rainwater, river water, and evaporating from ocean, and then it is forming a cloud like that. In a big Brahmanda, spiritual world, 3/4, 1/4 is material world, that 1/4, the small cloud is like a material sky. And that's what Lord is glancing, and that is what is activating. So then this is happening. Then, so at that time, what is happening? 24 elements are coming up. The original one whole substance is unmanifest, avyakta. But as soon as it glances, then it transforms. Then there are 5 gross elements: earth, water, air, fire, ether. And then you have mind, intelligence, false ego. 5 plus 3, 8. Gross and subtle. And each and every living entity's body, human body, even other species also, made up of these 5 elements. The mind, intelligence, false ego, 8. And then we have karmendriyas and gnanendriyas. 5 gnanendriyas, 5 karmendriyas, 10. So 10 plus 8, 18. And then you have sense perceptions like the sound, the touch, so all these. For all these gnanendriyas, there is a sense perceptions, 5 of them. So that became 18 plus 5, 23. And then Jiva, 24. Kala, 25. Super Soul, Supreme Lord, 26. So in this way, 24 to 26, depending on some act, with time factor, without time. Anyway, 24 to 26 elements. This is called complete description of this. This is called metaphysics by someone, etymological understanding of how this material works. So first was when he glanced the sound vibration, started with sound vibration. Then the ether was produced. From ether, air was produced. Okay. From air, then fire, electricity was produced. Then came water. Then from water, earth came. In this way, this was the sequence. When they say Big Bang theory, all of a sudden, so that is nothing but that sound vibration. That's why the transcendental sound vibration. Uh, this Harinam Sankirtan, Golokera Premadan Harinam Sankirtan. So Narottam Das Thakur sings. So that's why transcendental sound vibration has a full potential to transform our condition of a living entity and take us back to original place, spiritual world, going back to Godhead. Now, Kapila is the son of, coming back to we understand those 24 elements which Lord Kapila came to describe, actually describe the details. We'll come to that and go into that detail. Now, first, before that, we should understand who is Lord Kapila. Lord Kapila's father is Kardamuni, and Kardamuni and mother Devahuti. Who is Devahuti's father? Kardamuni was a great sage, Lord Brahma's son. And Kardamuni was performing austerity. At what time? What age and where? Kardamuni was performing 10,000 years in Satya Yuga, in the place called Brahmavarta. Brahmavarta, in place it is called Kurukshetra, or Kurukshetra in Brahmavarta. This whole material world, material planet, especially the earthly planet, this material world, especially this earthly planet, including 7 oceans. Later on it has been described. Brahmavarta. Kardam Muni is situated there on the earthly planet, and he is performing 10,000 year austerities. Like Valmiki has written, 60,000 years he meditated, then he wrote Ramayana. He didn't just do like that. So this is in Satya Yuga also. Sorry. That is Kardamuni. Now Kardamuni's brief description, how he was exalted personality, he was a liberated personality. So we should understand the instructions coming from him. So where it is mentioned, yeah. So Kardam Muni worshipped when he performed austerities 10,000 years. He didn't worship. He didn't do any demigod worship. He didn't do any impersonal form of worship. He didn't follow any other methods. He just simply followed devotion service. It is 10,000 years done by devotion service, worshipping the Lord's personal form, Archa Vigraha, and performed these austerities. And there, so there, in his example, then he prayed sincerely and seeking the mercy of the Lord, seeking the benediction from the Lord, looking for, he wants to get married. He wants to get married. He has a desire to get married. In the second canto beginning, there's a description, second chapter beginning, I think. One who has desires, wants to fulfill some desires, if he is especially looking for beautiful wife, then he must worship Uma, goddess Uma, then he will get. But Kardam Muni didn't do that. Kardam Muni worshipped directly the Lord. He wants whatever he wants to get, that is especially wife, from by worshipping Lord Vishnu. Whenever he gives, so he only wants to worship Lord Vishnu, even though he had desire. This is Sakama. Sakama means one who is approaching the Lord with desire. Nishkama means one who is approaching the Lord without any desire. So now the first thing is been mentioned, how he is asking. Hare Krishna. So first thing, Kardam Muni is talking. When Lord appeared after 10,000 years of austerity, Kardam Muni, when he performed, Lord himself, Lord Vishnu appeared on the Garuda immediately. Not immediately, after these many years of tapasya, seeing his austerity, seeing his devotion, not just simply material austerity. He is really performing his devotion, meditating on the form of the Lord, worshipping the Lord, archana, hearing, especially meditating and worshipping the deity. These two things he was doing for many, many years. So there, then the Lord appeared. When Lord appeared, he was so compassionate, seeing. He was not caring about a simple life, very austere life, Kardamuni, and simply worshipping and meditating on the Lord. He didn't become agitated. So many years, Lord didn't appear. Let me now go back and worship demigod or something. No, 10,000 years he worshipped, because at that time 100,000 years people used to live. That is the age in Satya Yuga. So Kardamuni worshipped in that way. Lord appeared on Garuda. Then immediately, by seeing his situation, seeing his condition, and by seeing his devotion, intense devotion, Lord personally himself shed tears out of his compassion, seeing Kardamuni. So that water became Lord's. It is not Kardamuni's tears. It is Lord's tears came down by seeing compassionate, looking at Kardamuni. Then it became a sarovar, it became a lake. Bindu Sarovar, that's why it is called. Bindu Madhav Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went. This is the place, Bindu Sarovar. So this is very, very important. This is the first thing. So first instruction we are getting is, if we depend on the choice of the Lord, we will receive benediction in a greater opulence than we desire. This is the first and foremost instruction from Kardam Muni we are getting. Because he simply wanted benediction from the Lord. He wants to get married. So he approached the Lord only. So whatever. So that's why here Prabhupada mentions in the purport, if we depend on the choice of the Lord, then we will receive benediction in a greater opulence than we desire. If we look for desire, then we may be desiring, oh Lord, give me this, give me a job here, or give me this bank balance, or give me this, give me that. But Lord knows, if you ask for him, because I have this problem, then Lord, whatever you think better, so you give me, you know the best. Then we'll receive the best, the topmost, the most opulent than we desire. This is the first thing. Kardam Muni received like that, because he very sincerely, dedicatedly worshipped the Lord with intense devotion. Second thing, it is mentioned about his social behavior. These days especially. So arranged marriages. Parents used to arrange marriage. It is not like a boy looking at girl and girl looking at boy and getting married. No. This was social marriage, social convention followed, social behavior. So he looked at, he worshipped the Lord, and the Lord personally arranged. Lord immediately told, "Oh Kardam Muni, so you will receive a daughter of a great queen, daughter of Swayambhu Manu, Lord Brahma's son, his daughter, very, very qualified." And Swayambhu Manu personally will bring his daughter with him to you in few days. Lord himself personally inspired. We'll see how that Lord desiring, how it happens. Immediately chain reaction. We can see how it happens. And so there it is mentioned. So instead of Kardam Muni approaching or going like Chayavana Muni and others, they are going to king and I want to get, please give me your daughters in marriage. No, Kardam Muni didn't do that. Kardam Muni didn't approach anything. He didn't go and look for a girl by himself. So this is parents used to arrange. This is the best thing because they know. That means otherwise, but the parents also these days looking for money, looking for this, looking for that. Actually, they're supposed to look at the horoscopes and make sure that the families and then it matches, especially the boy and girls thing matches. They're able to, their Prabhupada mentions that wife, the previous instruction also, like disposition. Yeah, when Kardamani worshipped, when Lord appeared, he also said, what he said, I'm looking for marriage, wife. I know this is a material desire. He detected. He could understand that this is a problem. It is a material desire. You are the giver of liberation, but still I am asking for material benediction. I want to get married. Then he also mentioned like disposition. I want a girl who can assist me in spiritual upliftment. It is like disposition means Prabhupada mentioning wife is necessary to assist in material and spiritual advancement. So material and spiritual advancement. So that's a great duty wife has both ways. Husband has a duty to protect, provide everything, and take care of, and then engage in devotion service, lead by example, and wife also in reciprocate in the same way. This is a Kardam Muni taught by his own example, how he led his life. So that's coming up, example. This is the first, the second instruction is social behavior. So and then, so here Lord himself is arranging. So especially he was a Brahmana and Swayambhu Manu is a Kshatriya. So that is allowed. Means Brahmana, the boy can be Brahmana and girl can be Kshatriya, but not the other way. Pritilom and Vilom. I forget the naming. Prabhupada mentions in some other places. Kshatriya boy and marrying Brahmana girl is not allowed generally, as per Vedic injunctions. Not in Kali Yuga, there is no discretion of any of that sort anyway. But in general, from Vedic injunctions, it is not allowed unless it is ordered by the king or spiritual master authority. Then on that basis it can be allowed. Otherwise, in general case, it is not allowed. So in this case, Brahmana boy, Kardam Muni, and Kshatriya daughter. Generally, it's Kshatriya to Kshatriya, Brahmana to Brahmana, like that. But in this case, it is allowed. Brahmana can marry Kshatriya's girl. So Lord has arranged this. So what can be the topmost? Whatever Lord arranges, it will be the topmost. So that is where the social behavior instruction is being given. Prabhupada talks about in great detail in the purport. How nowadays nobody is looking for this. This is why previously there is no question of divorce. It is all based on how to serve, lead life in serving the Supreme Lord, wife and husband, and parents also. But these days, parents themselves are directing in that way their kids, directing in the wrong way. So your wife is doing this, your wife is doing that, our wife's parents are telling your husband is doing that, So because it is up to them, once they get married, it is up to wife and husbands, boy and girl, for them to lead their life. If as long as if they are giving spiritual instructions, then it's fine. But most of the time they are not giving spiritual. They are making them deviate, divert from their thing, and even to such an extent, creating diverse situation. Parents are causing this diverse situation in many cases. So this is the biggest problem these days. So that's why we must use our brains. Intelligence must be used. That's why one must worship the Supreme Lord. Lord will give proper intelligence. Otherwise, we will create our own ideas. That's why we must follow authority, especially gurus. These days, nobody is even following gurus' instructions for these matters either. Then we shouldn't approach for these matters, but we should approach, especially if there is a problem. Then we must follow. If we approach, we must follow guru's instruction. If you want to act whimsically, then there is not going to be a positive result. It's going to be a big problem. Especially one who disregards spiritual master injunctions, finished. So it's very, very important. The spiritual master instructions cannot be rejected. So the next instruction coming from Kardam Muni, offering everything to me. Lord instructed, I am arranging this girl, Swayambhu Manu's daughter, Mother Devahuti, in marriage. Then Lord is instructed these few things, very important. Offer everything to me. Offer everything to me. As you are working, whatever you are doing, offer everything to me. In that way, then you will not be agitated. Even though you are entering into Grihastha ashram, you will attain liberation, you will attain me if you do that. There, Prabhupada, if you attain Krishna consciousness under the direction of the Lord and his representative, then everything is sanctified, everything is purified. So that's why we must be under the guidance and instruction of the Supreme Lord and spiritual master. So then everything will be sanctified. Otherwise, because in Kali Yuga, what kind of work we do? Pretty much Ugra Karma, pretty much it is a implicated work. Where we go, whom we associate, it's everyday business it is not saintly. So obviously it implicates us. So that's why one must offer everything to the Supreme Lord. That is the second instruction Lord is Lord is giving to Kardam Muni. Next instruction Lord is giving to Kardam Muni. Uh, Show compassion to all living entities and give assurance of safety to all. So, compassion to, because Kardam Muni is a great sage and is getting married to Mother Devahuti, Swayambhuva's. Lord himself is arranging. So, he didn't go and look for Kardam Muni. Lord himself arranged and he is instructing that Kardam Muni, you become compassionate to all living entities. Not just because in general this is the tendency we have. Tendency generally people have in Grihastha ashram. They themselves, me, my family, my wife, my kids, my parents, maybe my extended family, little bit. If we have, more, little bit. But mostly we don't be compassionate. We will not be compassionate to other living entities. Not even human beings. Forget about other animals. Especially Grihastha, as I showed other day also in one of the purport Prabhupada mentions. Even to a lizard, even to a snake in our house area, everyone must make sure that they are being taken care. That means even if it is enemy, even a lizard. Prabhupada mentioning. So how important for Grihastha means one must serve other living entities. That's why here Lord is instructing, be compassionate to all living entities and provide safety to other because he is a Brahmana. So he can protect because Lord is always there. Because Namo Brahmanya Devaya. He is always protecting Brahmanas. So Brahmana, that's why Brahmanas are guiding Kshatriyas throughout. In Kali Yuga only, that's a big problem. So they don't want guidance, neither Brahmanas are giving guidance, ready to give guidance. They are looking after their wealth and looking after how to take care of their wealth. So this is the problem. So that's these are important things. So one must be, that means instruction is we must be very compassionate to all living entities, including our enemies. So not just our own family members, but we should be trying to serve in our capacity, whatever it is. So we should try to serve as much as
వెంకటరమణ
possible.
గోవింద గోవింద వడ్డీ కాసులవాడ వెంకటరమణ గోవింద గోవింద ఆపదముక్కుల వాడ
Hare Krishna, you are unmuted. And then further, it's been mentioned, yeah, as I mentioned in the Canto 3, Chapter 21, verse number 38 to 39, where I mentioned Asesha Karuna Jagannath Prabhu asked last time, oh, where Dhruva Maharaj performed this pastime, where Kardam Muni and Devahuti, Kardam Muni created a big aeroplane with his mystic powers. That aeroplane has everything in that, so many houses, so many apartments, so many lakes and whatnot, gardens and everything, whatever you want, all the attendants, everything available. You name it, clothes, jewelry, and everything. Whatever you name it, everything available, everything was available in that aeroplane itself. She doesn't need to go anywhere. So where is this happening? So there in Canto 3, Chapter 21, verse number 38 to 39. Tadvai Bindu Saro Nama Saraswatya Pariplutam Punyam Sivamruta Jalam Maharshi Gana Saitam. Bindu Sarovar flooded by the waters of river Saraswati. So actually Lord himself shed tears by seeing Kardam Muni's austerity, Kardam Muni's intense devotion. So that became the lake, that became Bindu Sarovar, Lord's tears. Like Ganga is also coming from the toenails of the Supreme Lord. So that's why it has a purifying effect. So anybody who takes his bath in this place of Bindu Sarovar, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also visited Bindu Madhav temple. This is the Bindu Sarovar. There, then he will be purified, sanctified, no diseases. So there it is mentioned. So this is on the earthly planet, Brahmavarta. There Lord also instruct Swayambhu Manu is going to come. Swayambhu Manu is the king who is ruling earthly planet on the Brahmavarta and along with earthly planet, along with 7 oceans. He is ruling. Swayambhu Manu. He is going to come and bring his daughter. There, the Lord himself is mentioning. This is happening in earthly planet, but this happened in Satya Yuga. This whole pastime happened in Satya Yuga time. So now Lord Kapila, this is the previous I am talking about. Kapilas, actually Kapila is son of now Kardam Muni. There are so many things, but in interest of time I am not covering. Kardam Muni, obviously next immediate after Lord left, when Lord left also, Garuda, Garuda was flapping the wings and he is able to see. Prabhupada is mentioning Kardam Muni was a liberated soul, even though he has a material desire, seemingly material desire of getting married, arranging marriage, asking for Lord to give that benediction. But he is so liberated, everything is fully in control. He could see that Lord is going on Garuda towards Vaikuntha. He could see all the way. He could see. That is because he is liberated soul. There, Garuda is there. He was able to hear Samaveda, Brohat, and it is mentioned. Yeah, there is Samaveda, Brohat, and one more thing. Two things are mentioned. Samaveda is to satisfy the Supreme Lord. They sing Samaveda. So the flapping of the wings of Garuda Samaveda. Samaveda is coming up as soon as flapping the wings are going on by Garuda. Brohat and Ratantara, these two things are basically songs of Samaveda is coming up automatically by just flapping of the wings. That's why Garuda is not ordinary. Now, so after the marriage, obviously, Devahuti served Kardam Muni like anything. So for many days, months, probably year or 2 years, Kardam Muni was completely in serving the Supreme Lord, worshipping the Supreme Lord. He completely forgot. But she didn't say anything. She completely served, went on serving. Then one day he realized, seeing her so weak and so thin, hardly, then he realized, oh, I didn't serve her. She was the queen. I didn't provide even basic necessities. Then he made learn because she also gave promise. Yeah, she asked for one benediction that I want child from Kardam Muni. When she got married, he asked what benediction you want. Then Kardam, then he remembered this benediction, asking for this. Then satisfied that condition, then that's how the 9 daughters were born. Also Kapila and 9 daughters were born, and 9 daughters were given to different Prajapatis, Daksha and others. 9 daughters of Kardam Muni. The whole population is coming from. That's why Kardam Muni, everybody knows. Kardam Muni, that whole population also increased in that way. So Kapila is one of the son. Was born from mother Devahuti and Kardam Muni. And then Kardam Muni told, I am going to leave. So he already told before itself, and he left as soon as Kapila was Lord Kapila. Lord himself personally, Lord instructed. When he appeared, he told, you are going to have Swayambhu Manu coming, and then he will give you a daughter, and then you will have the son. Lord myself will appear as a Lord Kapila, as a son. We just answered your question. You are not there. You'll have to hear the recording. So now Lord Kapila's instructions. Lord Kapila has given Sankhya philosophy. This is in Canto 3. Vidura and Maitreya's conversation, and Maitreya has explained to Vidura how Lord Kapila instructed. When Kardam Muni left, and then Mother Devahuti asked, I didn't take your association properly. Please instruct me. Then if she was crying like anything, then Kardam Muni said, don't worry. Please take shelter of your son Kapila. He is Lord himself, Lord Kapila. So he will instruct you. Don't worry. So then as after he left, then Mother Devahuti asked Lord Kapila, instruct me. I am completely immersed in this material duties, material activities, material conditioning. Please pick me out from this. Instruct me. Then she asked to instruct about who he is, what is the position, how to come out of this miserable condition of life. Then, so Lord Kapila has given instructions. I'm going to just give only quick instructions, interest of time. The first thing Lord Kapila is instructing, chapter 25, from 25 to all the way, I think 31 or so. Canto 3 is big, two parts, two books. Canto 4 also two books, big cantos. So 25th chapter, Lord Kapila is instructing about devotion, how to execute devotion service. First thing, he is talking about one must associate with sadhu and the qualities of sadhu. One must develop these qualities. One must develop these qualities. The qualities of sadhu is mentioning. Take the association of sadhu. Titikshva karunika, surudo sarvadehinam, ajata sitra santa, sadhavo sadhu bhushna. That is 3:25-21. One must be tolerant. This is the quality of sadhu. Whom we should associate with, we should look for these qualities. One who is tolerant, one who is very merciful, more and more compassionate to so many people. This is the most merciful. Friendly to all living entities. No enemies. Peaceful. Abide by the Shastra, Sadhu Shastra Guru. And sublime characteristics. So these are the characteristics by which we know who is Sadhu. Srila Prabhupada, you can see. Srila Prabhupada has all these characteristics. No one is an enemy. So many pastimes are being shared lately about how Srila Prabhupada is created no enemies. Even when enemies came to, sometimes he was being chastised, criticized like anything. Prabhupada didn't utter a single word, didn't say anything. And rather, later on, when Prabhupada went back after some time, then Prabhupada asked his disciples, give this, I think, prasadam or some gift to that person. So Prabhupada remembered and he told them to give. And Prabhupada, disciples asked, oh, he is the person who chastised, who criticized you. Prabhupada didn't take that. So didn't take it seriously. He was not an enemy. See, because Prabhupada is always looking at how to pull this condition, living entity from this unwanted, contaminated consciousness. So Prabhupada is piercing to the heart. So that is the characteristic of a sadhu, saintly. So that is the first. Lord Kapila is instructing, you must associate with sadhu and you must develop these qualities. Associate with sadhu who has these qualities. That is the first instruction. That is a prasangam ajaram pasam atmano kavayo vidhu mokshadaram apavratam. What is it? Saeva sadhu sukrutu. Yeah, prasangam ajaram pasam atmano kavayo vidhu saeva sadhu sukrutu mokshadaram apavratam. The door for liberation will be open when we associate with those sadhus who have these qualities. Sayeva sadhu sukrutu. That kind of sadhu. And then automatically all our conditioning, all our knots will be broken, cut. So prasangam prakrushta rupena. So all the materialistic conditioning will be removed. Ajram pasam. Pasam means we are bounded with very thick, hard knotted ropes with so many different attachments in the mind, in the intelligence, in the heart, in the senses, everywhere. So only way it can be cut is by the association of a sadhu. That is the instruction being given. Then further, second instruction, whose minds are fixed on the Lord. The another one is whose minds are fixed on the Lord and engaging in intensive practice of devotion. That is the only means to attain the goal of life. He is instructing, Lord Kapila is instructing Mother Devati, you must come to the practice of intense devotion. Tivrena bhakti yogena. Tivrena bhakti yogena manomai arpitam stiram. Whose minds are fixed on the Lord and engaging in intense practice of devotion. That is only means. So that is intense practice means slowly and gradually we must increase. We must consistently do whatever we are doing. The chanting, the hearing, the reading, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and worshipping the deity, offering tulsi leaves, and engaging in service. These consistently, day after day, week after week, month after month, consistent. Then gradually we have to slowly and see increase, remove unwanted things in our day to day, weekly, monthly activities, whatever is taking us away from the Lord. Cut down all those things gradually, detect and cut down, and then that way go on increasing our service, our these devotional activities. So then that is called Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. So because then we are trying to, that is the only way we can attain the goal of life. There is the instruction is giving, Lord Kapila is giving to Mother Devahuti. Next is giving, you follow your own swadharma. Swadharma acharet vidharma charanatram. So remove, give up your somebody else's dharma. Don't take somebody else's dharma. You do your own dharma. Like if you are in grahastha, you follow your dharma. Don't try to be a brahmachari. Don't try to be a sannyasi. And don't try to follow somebody's guidance, instruction. Follow Guru's guidance and Guru's representative's guidance. So instructions. So then that is Swadharma. That means Brahma, one who are Brahmachari or Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas, or whatever the case may be, one must follow, and that's Swadharma. That's what Krishna, Lord Krishna is also instructing Arjuna. You are Kshatriya and you want to renounce and go to forest. That is not your duty. So you should fight. Then only you will have actual real result. So otherwise it will be, result will be opposite. Swadharma. He is also Mother Devahuti, Lord Kapila is instructing Swadharma. Then further is instructing, cease conventional religious practices and eat very frugally and avoid unwanted association. Yeah. Next instruction, cease conventional religious practices. That means gradually we must understand that dharma, artha, kama, moksha, these are conventional religious practices. Most of the people are in that dharma, artha, kama, not even moksha. So that is a very later business, it will come. But all these things are conventional religious practices. Gradually will come. But we must lead a life to come to the path of perfection, come to actually deepen our devotion to attain actually Krishna prema. So that's why we must relieve this. We must come out of this kind of thought process. Let me engage in this, some engage in pious credits. Let me donate here, let me donate there, let me feed poor people, let me give education, let me do this, let me do that. This is all just getting pious credit, just getting from, giving up one job and taking up another nice, better job. That's all. Pious credit, that's all we are getting. Nothing more than that. That is this lifetime. Next lifetime, after few life, once the pious credits are over, then finished. So that's why we don't, that is the temporary things. This is not going to help. So that's why Kardam Muni is instructing. And then further important, eat very frugally and avoid unwanted association. Very frugally means, Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport, 50% only should be eaten. You must be very hungry, you want to eat 1 pound of paneer or 1 pound of sabji, then you eat only half. And the remaining half, 1/4 of that should be left for air. 1/4 should be filled with water. That's why as soon as we wake up, we must drink water. 2 liters of water one must drink. One must go for exercise, walk. Gym and all is, these are recent things. Walking is the natural thing. Even in the winter, Prabhupada used to go with all the jackets and everything. Because that is the natural thing. In the olden days, people used to go and work in fields and everything, so that's why they are getting natural exercise. So they don't need. But for us, the problem, we are sitting and in front of computer, so that's the biggest problem. So that we must go for exercise, walk especially. Walking is the main thing. Not even sports. Walking and swimming. These two are the Vedic recommended sport and Vedic recommended activities for exercise. So and half of that's why water one must drink in the morning itself. By night it should be reduced, less water. But the morning, before eating anything, then fruits. Gradually, everything is a very systematic, natural. Prabhupada, you can see, Prabhupada is to take, first thing you have to take after water is fruits. No rice, no grain, nothing. But we are accustomed to do that. But this is the way, because the first thing is acidity. So one must create juice, then it will digest. We cannot eat fruit at the end, but we are accustomed to do like that. So there is a way to how to eat here. Prabhupada 50%. That's why one fourth to be left for water, one fourth to be left for air, remaining 50 only we should eat. So then this is the way. Then digestion, no problem for digestion, no diseases. All the natural, obviously, you cannot bring processed food and you put in microwave, reheating. These are all creating the diseases. This is creating the problem. No reheating business. Everything must be fresh. Uh, Rice should never be reheated, period. So that is the biggest problem otherwise. Rice should never be reheated. You put it outside, let it become uncold, and then, room temperature, whatever, then you take it. Never reheat it. Prabhupada mentioned, Prabhupada chastised also. One person making leftover rice, making into khichdi, Prabhupada chastised him like anything. Yeah, because it's not good, good practice. So that's why we have to be very careful. Eat frugally and avoid unwanted association. Then the instruction 5, practice. Our practice, our day-to-day life practice should be truthfulness, non-violence. That means this also means avoid unwanted killing. Avoid non-violence means obviously criticizing, all these also. Inflicting pain on others, that is also violence. The various kinds of violence. Killing other animals, so for our own sake, this is all violence. So be non-violence. Be satisfied with what we have. Don't look for, oh, other person has, I don't have it. Always comparing. Among devotees, always comparing. Yes, we can compare that, oh, this person is nicely able to worship the deity or nicely does the deity. So how can let me learn from him, or let me try to learn so that I can improve. Let me try to improve. Not becoming jealous, not becoming envious, rather trying to improve. So this is the character we have to develop. That's why here it is mentioned, satisfied with what we have. We should be satisfied. We shouldn't be having grudge on anybody. So then cleanliness, one must be clean. At least twice we should take bath. Prabhupada used to take 3 times, morning, afternoon, evening. Then one must be austere. So austere in especially trying to follow the devotional practices. It's not possible otherwise. If you are not austere, we will not be able to do it consistently at all. This is the biggest problem. Then study the Shastra on a regular, consistent basis. Then next is worshipping the deity. So is instructing. Mother Devoti is woman, but Lord Kapila is instructing. So that means, so it is for everybody. There is no one, no bar to anybody. It is for applicable to everybody. So we cannot say, oh, I have a lot of work, I have job, I have this, I have that. No, then because we will be always be conditioned. We will never be able to come out. So if you don't follow, at least some of these has to be followed. We have to see. If you sincerely pray and sincerely look for ways to remove unwanted things, then there is a way, then Lord will help. Then brahmacharya, Lord is also instructing. As a son, to mother is instructing, brahmacharya. To wife and husband, to boy and girl, this applies very much. It's very, very important. So otherwise, it's very difficult to come out of the conditioning. Biggest problem. Then next instruction is giving, regularly visit temple. Is instructing, Kardamuni is instructing to Mother Devoti, regularly visit temple and take darshan of the lotus feet of the Lord. Take darshan of me. Lord Kapila is saying, take me means Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna's darshan. Touch the lotus feet. Offer worshipful paraphernalia and prayers. See, this must be regularly done. It is not that I will do when I would like, when I have time, once a month I will go. No, this is not regularly. In India, people used to go every day, at least once. So before going to work, before doing whatever job, they used to go either morning, mostly morning or evening. And this is the tradition. But now all these are gone, even in India also. They will go only on the festivals, or sometimes even not that even either. So, but say they will invite friends and celebrate at home, but no worshipping the deity, no activity related tying with the deities at all. Just simply celebrating. It is okay, but it is not really helping actually anyone. So that's why it is not so much social gathering. It is not festival is not for social gathering. Festival is to being Krishna. Lord Krishna is in the center. This is the actual festival means. That's why here Kardamuni is instructing Devahuti. Regularly visit temple, take darshan of the Lord, touch the lotus feet. Obviously, at least those who are not initiated, second initiated, they cannot touch the deity, but at least you can touch the lotus feet of Sri Prabhupada. You can sincerely seek his mercy and blessings. At least you can touch his lotus feet. That's why he told, the astrologer told, you know what you are getting onto by putting your while you are living, you are giving allowing your murti to be there, means you are taking the sinful activity of a person who's going to touch you, your feet. Prabhupada said, all right, he's ready to accept. So Prabhupada is ready to accept because he's carrying the Lord Nityananda Prabhu's potency. He's very compassionate. Whatever Lord Kardam Muni, Lord Kapila is instructing, all those qualities are there in Sri Prabhupada. So that's why his murti was there even before he's passing away from this planet, because he's ready to accept. But people have to, those who are touching, they should be ready to follow, not simply touch the feet and not follow. They should follow the instruction of Srila Prabhupada also. You must hear at least 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, while brushing the teeth, while washing the mouth, while washing the face. Even 10 minutes, 2 minutes. There are so many in YouTube everywhere. They cut short so that they know that people doesn't have time. And they made the videos even short, 7 minute, 10 minutes clips of Srila Prabhupada. And do that. It's very, very important. While doing other chores, you can do that. It helps. It will cut the knots. It will remove all kinds of speculation we may have. So, first priority is Prabhupada. We must hear every day at least 5 minutes, 10 minutes, as much as possible. We must hear. And this will help greatly. Then only, otherwise, it's very difficult because transformation will be immense. I can tell from my experience. That's how. If I'm able to remember anything from any of the scriptures, it is only because my lectures also based on Srila Prabhupada's only. Books, his purports, his classes, from there only. That's where all my strength, everything. So my practice is all. That's what I have been heard by devotees in the beginning, and then that's what I followed. Otherwise, there cannot be transformation. It is very difficult to consistently follow it through without Srila Prabhupada's mercy, without hearing from him, because he has a strong weapon of his voice, his sound vibration coming from his own Guru Parampara, spiritual master from the spiritual planet, spiritual world is bringing. So by his sound vibration, it can cut all kinds of anarthas and everything. So that's why it is very so important to hear his lectures, even if it's 5 minutes. So very important. And then we'll be able to adjust everything. Regularly visit him. I mentioned that is the 6th instruction. 7th instruction: be straightforward, be simple, and hear and chant. This is the instruction here is given. Be straightforward and simple. Already 9 or 2. Wow. Hear and chant. Straightforward means we must be straightforward with devotees, especially with Guru, with Guru's representatives, with leaders, authority. We must be straightforward. No duplicitous character. It's not going to work in devotion service. It's never going to work. If you are saying something outside, keeping something inside, not going to work at all. In devotion service, Lord will never like that behavior at all. So that we should be very cautious. If we detect it, we should remove it soon. We should be very simple in that way. Simple living and high thinking. There are so many instructions are there, but we'll stop. Then now the second is Dattatreya. 3 verses we covered today. Fifth incarnation is Lord Kapila. Fifth, 6th is Dattatreya. That is Atri and Ansuya's daughter. son, and then seventh is Yajna. Yajna is Lord Yajna. Lord himself became, Lord Vishnu himself became Yajna. His administrative demigod Indra. One time in Swayambhu Manu's Manvantara, that time there was no right personality, there was no qualified personality to become administrative demigod Indra. So then Lord himself became, that's why he was born. Swayambhu Manu gave his one of the daughter, Akuti, to Prajapati Ruchi. Then he took a promise. If son is born, you have to give it to me. So he said, all right. So, and then he had also daughter. So that daughter married to son. Both are brothers and sisters, but they are Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi Devi are born. So obviously both married again. So that is Prajapati Ruchi. So that personality was born from Prajapati Ruchi is Lord Yajna. Lord Vishnu himself was born. So that is the seventh incarnation it's talked about. So he became Indra at that time, because Indra, there is no proper person. But now we are in Vaivasvata Manvantara. I think Indra's name is Purandara. Current Indra's name. So some of the demigods' names are is written, is given in few places. So that's how we know. Like sun god's name is Vivaswan, as Prabhupada is mentioned in many places. So that's how we know. So like that, all demigods has their own names, personality. It is not mythology. Now the instruction from Dattatreya, King Yajna means the Lord Yajna, so not much instruction because it's only brief period. You will see in all Srimad Bhagavatam. Now Dattatreya has so many instructions, condensing it. Dattatreya here in King Lord Krishna is instructing Uddhava in 11th canto in Srimad Bhagavatam. There he is quoting. Uddhava is asking, explain about devotion service and all the aspects, how I can come out of this conditioning and everything. How can I perfect my life? Then Lord Krishna started instructing. So in that he quoted Avaduta, one of the Avaduta Brahmanas. There is one historical incident where King Yadu is asking Avaduta Brahman. That Avaduta Brahman is none other than Dattatreya, who is son of Atri and Anasuya. And Sridhar Swami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is quoting 11.9.32 and 2.7.42 verses, quoting that Avadota Brahman is the same as Lord Dattatreya, sixth incarnation. Dattatreya is instructing the king Yadu that there are 24 gurus, these 24 material elements, Sankhya Yoga, that these 24 various elements what we see in this world, here the 24 elements exactly not the same. Here he is talking about earth, fire, wind, sun, moon, like that, different, but all in this relate to in the context of 24 different gurus is all. I'll just cover a few of them. First one is talking about earth. One must learn and develop the quality of tolerance, never be distracted from the goal of life. Earth is able to tolerate so many atrocities done to the earth. In Kali Yuga, it's even more rampant. Digging for petrol, doing for so many things. Doing unwanted things. So that's why even before also in Dwapara Yuga, Bhumi Devi went and prayed to the Lord, tears in her eyes. Then Lord told, I will appear and kill those miscreants. So then second instruction is from mountain. All these are gurus, 24 gurus. Dattatreya is quoting, instructing. Second one is mountain and tree. The second instruction. Service to others, like mountain is always ready to serve others. Same way tree, dedicate life to others. One's wealth and assets. Prabhupada is mentioning one's wealth and assets. So that's why one must engage, use our wealth and assets, whatever we have, in serving others, especially serving devotees, serving others in this way. Even if we serve others, then we must think as a servant Sri Krishna Arpanamastu, and then try to give them also book, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna book or something, and help them connect to the Lord. See as it is coming. It is not a material thing. It is coming from the Lord. Is arranging this thing. Let me try to develop my love with the Lord. This is what we have to bring them back to that. Give them prasadam like that. In this way, in that way, we can help. Gradually, we have to bring. That is the best help we can do. That is eternally we are helping. Otherwise, it's only temporary is going to benefit. So that is the instruction coming from mountain and tree. Next instruction is coming from wind. Remain neutral, pleasing or displeasing or disturbing situations. As wind and air and sky, you can see air sometimes carries aromas, bad smell, good smell. Air will do its duty. That is its job. It doesn't care whether good smell or bad smell, whatever surroundings there, it is picking up and carrying it. That is the job of wind. That is the job of air. What will it do? Sky is always sky is always situated here within this material universe, within its boundary. It doesn't get agitated. So whether it's rain or shine or snow doesn't matter. So we shouldn't be agitated. We should be remain neutral. Then is instructing water. Be gentle. Be gentle in your speech. Speak in such a way that it creates beautiful vibration like flowing water. That as soon as we touch water, like we get purified, we become pleased. Like when we take bath, we become so refreshed. So like that, he took the instruction from water. So I should behave in such a way, I should speak in such a way that others doesn't get agitated. So and that is the instruction is in be gentle, be saintly. That's what is been. Next is from fire, unshakable. Fire consumes everything, but it doesn't get bogged down. So it burns up all the contaminated substances, but it doesn't get affected himself. That is fire, unshakable. Same way, we should also, because many things may come up in your life and in our practice, in our process, in our path. So we should be not. It shouldn't let us down. It shouldn't make us down from our path, from our goals. We should be very steady, because think always goal should be in the priority. It should be always in the focus, prime focus. The next is, these are five I give because interest of time, 9, 11, and quickly cover 7 or 9 instructions coming from Lord Varaha. Today's Varaha Dvadasi, quickly cover the main instructions, key instructions coming from Lord Varaha, and then we will conclude the session. The first instruction from Lord Varahadev is coming with, it's a high risk. So we must avoid highly risk situations, especially Varna Sankara. Diti approached Kashyapa in a wrong timing, completely attracted. Diti was attracted to Kashyapa in a wrong timing. Kashyapa already warned. This is not a good timing at all. You were approached in wrong timing. Where from that, because this is Lord Varaha's birth is being preponing back. And if you look back, what has happened? The Diti approached Kashyapa to procreate. She wants a son. He approached. She didn't say anything. Later she told that I want a son like a son who can kill Indra. That was his, but originally it was not. He gave, obviously Kashyapa has given benediction to her before. So all these are coming later. But first she approached in an inauspicious time. So indirect instruction is avoid highly risk things. That means, you have money, let me invest here. If it is highly risky, it's going to take us down in devotion service. We should be very careful not to do that, to just get some money, not to do that, because it's going to disrupt our actual goal. So we should be very careful. High risk. Avoid high risk. So because Diti became Varna Sankara, demon was born because of the inauspicious time. So we should be Garbhadhan Samskar, but in Kali Yuga it's very, very difficult. It's not possible at all. But at least we should avoid the indirect instruction is avoid highly risky things, especially in which is going to take us away from the Supreme Lord. We should avoid those risky things. Yes, for the Lord, any risky things we should be ready to take. And the opposite is also true. Second is obsession. We can see demons Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. What are they doing? They are simply obsessed with material strength. Hiranya means gold. They are attached to the gold and enjoyment, wealth. So Hiranyaksha also, same thing. Hiranyakasipu, soft bed. Hiranyaksha also, same thing, representing this. So much, too much obsessed with bodily strength. Demons want to get so many powers. They want to increase their beauty, bodily strength, and wealth, and their, uh, friends, make allies to increase their, win over others, other kings, and take over everything, the whole world, and enjoy. This is what their duty. Same way, this is a mentality of Kali Yuga. People in Kali Yuga, they want to somehow or other, they want to increase this beauty of this external body, and wealth, and constantly are after these things only. So this is what is been instruction here. Attraction to the body, and everything else, so on and so forth, extended body. So, but transfer that attachment to the Supreme Lord. This is instruction. Next, this Lord is sentient, means Lord feels also pleasure and pain, because he is like a person like us. He is a supreme person. We are also personal, because he is coming from, we are made after him. So he is person, that means he also feels pain and pleasure. So when this Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakasipu, when Lord Swayambhu requested Lord Brahma, deep meditation, then from his nostrils Lord Varaha appeared, and then Lord Varaha picked up the earth. He told, Swayambhu told, please help me in, picking me up this earth. You told me to procreate and engage, that then earthly planet is in submerged in water by Hiranyaksha. Then Lord Brahma deeply meditated, then he couldn't do anything. He couldn't do by himself. Then Lord himself came out as Lord Varaha, a small boar, and he became gigantic. So then immediately he went to Garbhodaka ocean and picked up. So that's why Lord is sentient. And then Hiranyaksha was using all kinds of foul words, and he was cursing, and he was doing, you are the beast, you are this, you are that, so many things he was saying, Hiranyaksha. Uh, these are characters. So Lord was pained to hear all these kind of words, pained by sharp and abusive words. Lord is sentient, he feels pleasure and pain, but he tolerated it. Until he finished his task, he didn't. This is morning class. I was telling yesterday morning class. I was giving that 3 times Lord Brahma tolerated it. Lord Brahma, first time he tolerated, 4 Kumaras didn't want to get married. He tolerated, he went on. Next, Lord Shiva, the way he didn't, he was supposed to procreate in the way he was looking for, but Lord Shiva started annihilating people, and then he said, no, 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 this is not the way you want, you have to create kids. You have to go and meditate, then you come back. Otherwise, everything you are devouring. So it's not going to help. This is the second instance. And then, so then Lord Brahma was not, he tolerated it. Then further, his own daughter, he was attracted to. He had to give up that body, and then take another. So in this way, 3 times, but still he tolerated. He went on his duty to whatever duty task has been given by Lord to himself, to engage in secondary creation, increase the population. Those who wants to enjoy separately from the Lord, all those living entities, has to take their positions in different planet, different species, all those that Lord Brahma is taking care through the increasing of population. So that is the instruction here. Lord tolerates. So that is another instruction. Lord is sentient. Pleasure and pain. That's why we must become more and more personal. When we are worshipping the deity, when we are serving the devotee and guru, we must be very personal. We shouldn't be impersonal. So that means Lord is also feels pleasure and pain. Same way devotees feel pleasure and pain. So same way, so Lord Varaha also is felt, is pained by the abusive words, sharp and abusive words of Hiranyaksha. But he didn't care. He picked up the earth, even though he was using, come and fight, he was using all kinds of words, but Lord didn't care less. He just picked up the earth and brought it all the way and put it on the in its orbit, and then he started. Until that, he didn't say anything. He tolerated like anything. So that is the fourth instruction we get from Lord Varaha's appearance. Today is the Lord Varaha's appearance day, Varaha Dwadasi. Lord tolerates demons. So we must also tolerate. We'll see so many envious and demoniac people we may meet, we may see. We should tolerate, we should ignore, because that is not our goal of life. Goal of life is how to serve the Lord. See, the Lord is also there, even the envious person also is a Paramatma. Because in the momentary time he is acting against Lord's wishes, Lord's injunctions and instructions for what to do. So we can just carry on, not bogged down by that mentality of others. Then the next, Lord can take away anything and everything at any time. Yes, immediately, just by one punch, Hiranyaksha was killed. Lord doesn't even need to do that. Lord doesn't need to come to kill the demons. He is coming to actually give pleasure to devotees. Lord Varaha married by the, when Lord Varaha did that, as soon as he pulled the earth from Garbhodaka ocean, you may ask, then where are the demigods watching this? All of them are in the sky watching. Lord Brahma and all other demigods are watching. Lord Varaha is uplifting the earth. And he was fighting. Then he started throwing his mace, Kiranyaksha, to Lord Varaha. Lord Varaha played for some time. He waited for some time because he is also sportive. Lord also wants to enjoy the some rasa. So he waited. Then he gave one slap to Hiranyaksha. Then he just completely, his sockets, eyes came out of his sockets and everything. So that way, so Lord Varaha killed Hiranyaksha. So he immediately takes any minute. That's why Lord can take away anything and everything at any time to anybody. You cannot say, I'm only 20 years, or I have a lot of things to do, or I have this, I have that, Lord, please give me time. So you cannot restrict Lord. Lord can do anything and everything. He can take away at any time. So that should be. That's why we must be very careful in utilizing the time of life. So prime goal is Lord Krishna. Everything is secondary. Yes, we will make sure that secondary is stable so that we serve primary. So that's why we should be very careful in making meeting the needs. But the primary should be always in our center focus. So then Lord also will accordingly help us to guide us, give the intelligence, right intelligence, how to conduct our business. Next is telling Lord cannot be measured. So Lord initially was only from nostrils, he appeared like a small, teeny species. Gradually grew like anything, elephant, and gradually became like a gigantic boar. That's why Lord cannot be measured. Means because we have some certain ideas, thoughts. So with our mind we cannot understand. So as where this incident happened, this is all happening on earthly planet. In Satya Yuga, this happened. Swayambhu Manu ruling the earthly planet. This verse I quoted before. On earthly planet, Dhruva Maharaj did that on earthly planet. This Kardam Muni also did this on earthly planet. Yes, he could have gone on the aeroplane. He created, he and Devahuti could have gone any other planet because he has the power. So much mystic perfection he has. He could have gone. That's not an issue. So what this happening where this incident Bindu Madha Bindu Sarovar, Lord's tears became Bindu Sarovar lake. And this is in North India, close to, I forget, close to Prayag and Allahabad. So Bindu Sarovar, Bindu Madhav temple is there. So that's where this incident has happened. And Kardam Muni and meeting the Lord. Lord appeared there. That's why Lord cannot be measured. So then Lord can kill with one slap. That's what Varaha. So that's why it doesn't take much time for Lord to do anything and everything. And then the next instruction, we must be grateful to the Lord for his countless benedictions in the form of water, air, sign, and all facilities. Lord Varahadev is uplifting the earth, putting in its orbit, giving the facilities. In this, the Lord is giving so many facilities, but we don't recognize it. I want this, I want that. Lord, why didn't you give me this? Why didn't you give me that? Why are you giving this difficulty, that difficult? Constantly, actually, we are not satisfied with what Lord is giving. It's our own karma, first of all. That we must understand. We should be grateful. We should be sincerely praying, Lord, thank you for allowing me to serve you, allowing me to worship you, and thank you for giving me all these facilities. And so let me become a good devotee. Let me become a good servant of yours. In this way, we should be very grateful. So then the next is last one is wonderful results. What happens by simply hearing the description of Lord Varahadev when given 3:19:38. What will be the result of simply reading? So the Varahadev's appearance and his activities. His most sacred narrative confers extraordinary merit, wealth, fame, longevity, and all the object of one's desire. On the field of battle, it promotes the strength of one's vital organs and organs of action. One who listens to it at the last moment of his life is transferred to the supreme abode of the Lord. Oh, dear Sonaka. Etan mahapunyam alam pavitram dhanyam yashasyam padam ayur ashisham pranendriyanam yudi saurya vardhanam narayano ante gate ranga srinvatam. By simply hearing this Lord Varahadev's pastime, this is in the 19th chapter, Canto 3, chapter 13 to chapter 19, 13 to 96 chapters or 7 chapters, simply describing Lord Varahadev's past, present, means how the whole incident, all the way starting from Diti meeting Kasyapa, then Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakasipu were born, and gradually, then Lord Varahadev appeared by Hiranyaksha's demoniac mentality and taking earth down. Then Lord Varaha appeared. Then that whole conversation, instructions, everything is in the 7 chapters. So at the end of that section, this is being given. What is the result? Why should I read? Why should I serve the Lord? The result will be that everything will be given. So everything will be purified. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Gandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Varaha Dwadasi ki jai. Any questions?
Yes, Prabhu, I have question.
Yes.
So, Prabhu, you told that Swayambhu Manu was he's the Swayambhu Manu is the king of all the planets, not only the earthly planets, right?
Correct, but he's staying here. He can go anywhere there because Manu means he's incarnation of the Lord. He has the powers, Manvantara, but he's the ruler. So he's staying. He's been given here. In the verse I quoted, Brahma Avarta. He's staying on earthly planet. He's ruling from earthly planet. 7 oceans. What is the verse? 1 minute. Canto 3. Canto 3, chapter 21, verse number 25 is mentioned. 3:21, 25. 1 minute, give me 1 minute. I'll read that verse so that 21. Lord Vishnu is telling this. Prajapati Sutas Samran Manur Vikyat Mangalaha Brahmavartam Yo Adivasam Sasti Saptar Navam Mahim. The Emperor Swayambhu Manu, the son of Lord Brahma, who is well known for his righteous acts, has his seat in Brahmavarta and rules over the earth with its 7 oceans. Has his seat. Just like Mr. Prabhupada used to say, Vrindavan is my home, place of worship is Mayapur, and my work, my office is in Bombay. Prabhupada used to say, same way. So Swayambhu Manu has his seat on earthly planet. He is mentioned, Lord himself is mentioning. He has his seat in Brahmavarta and rules over the earth with its 7 oceans. We are seeing only salty ocean, other ocean we are not seeing. So that's why too many things we shouldn't keep in the mind. We should take it. Lord is saying we should take it. We shouldn't have confusions. Yes, Swayambhu Manu can go anywhere and everywhere. So there shouldn't be any confusion about it, as it is clearly mentioned. Sometimes it is stated that Brahmavarta is part of Kurukshetra, or that Kurukshetra itself is situated in Brahmavarta, because the demigods are recommended to perform spiritual ritualistic performances in Kurukshetra. In others' opinion, Brahmavarta is a place in Brahmaloka where Swayambhu ruled. There are many places on the surface of this earth which are known in the higher planetary systems. We have places on this planet like Vrindavana, Dwaraka and Mathura, but they are also eternally situated in Krishna Loka. There are many similar names on the surface of the earth, and it may be that in the Boer age, Swayambhu Manu ruled this planet, as stated here. The word Mangala is significant. Mangala means one who is elevated in every respect, in the opulences of religious performances, ruling power, cleanliness, and all other good qualities. Vikyata means celebrated. Swayambhu Manu was celebrated for all good qualities and opulences. So that's how we should take it as Prabhupada is writing. So there shouldn't be confusion. For them, they can do anything. Manu has the power. He can sit here and rule the whole 14 planets as a Manu. So what is the big deal? But who needs more guidance? That also look at it. Manu's business is mainly earthly planet. As you go up higher planet, they are much more in a higher status. They are in a mode of goodness. मध्ये गच्छन्ति राजसा जगन्न गुणवत्तेन अधो गच्छन्ति तामसा and then urdham gachan satvastha. Mode of goodness, you go to higher planets. Mode of passion, you stay in earthly planet. Mode of ignorance, even below the earthly planet, there are 7 planets. Atala, Talatala, Rasatala, Mahitala, Patala, Talatala, Atala, Vitala, Talatala, Mahitala, like that. So, mode of ignorance. Those who are more predominantly ignorant, they will be born there in the below. Those predominantly mode of passion, they will be born on earthly planet. Those predominantly mode of goodness, they will be born in higher planets, higher and higher and higher. That means nobody has a pure goodness. If they are in pure goodness, they will be in spiritual world. So even the demigods has some tinge of passion, less ignorance, but tinge of passion is there still, mix. But goodness is the predominant quality. So that's why, so for them, mainly they have to rule the earth and the below planets. Above planets, not much to take care. So, because they are in mode of goodness, they don't need to worry too much. So that from that point also, we have to understand that. So, is that
Yes,
clear?
Babu. Yes, Babu, got it. Just quick question and related to this. So, Manu, Swayambhuva Manu is ruling from this earth. Is this verse you're quoting from the Bhagavatam also? This verse, particular
Yes,
verse?
21-25. Srimad Bhagavatam,
Achha.
Canto 3, Chapter 21, verse number 25.
Okay, Prabhu. Question is that the Swayambhu Manu ruling the higher planets also. Higher planets means
Yes.
Sargaloka.
Yes.
Okay, Sargaloka, and what about the lower planet? No, not the lower planet, right?
Including lower planets. Why not?
Including lower planets also.
Yes. Yeah. As I mentioned, rules over the earth in 7 oceans, earthly, Swayambhu Manu, Manvantara, Avatar. So each time, one day of Brahma, 14 Manus change. Right? So Brahma is in charge for all 14 planetary systems. Indra is in charge, is the administrative demigod for not just for his own planet, for the whole this universe. Sun is in charge for the whole universe. Same way, as far as I know, Swayambhu Manu is in charge, but mainly for the earthly planet and lower planets, more than higher planets. Higher planets, he doesn't need to do much because they take care of already. So all these kings, all these Manu's main business is to make sure earthly planet, because that is the boarding plane where once they are transformed, they can go to spiritual world. Even the demigod wants to be here in this material world, on earthly planet. It is a launching pad to go to spiritual world. So it is easy access is been given from here to spiritual world. Even it is mentioned Lord Brahma and all these demigods may go into merge into the Brahman, merge into the Lord at the time of their time is done. Brahma's life is over 100 years, so long, trillions of years. Enter into the first Karanodaka Sai Vishnu. But again, when the creation starts, again he will come back. If he has the independent nature, if he is thinking I am independent, I am separate from the Lord, and I am this, I am that, If he has any of that quality, then finish. Then he will again appear. He will, depending on what condition he has, then either he will become Brahma again or he will take another position, because he is also Jiva Tattva. It is a qualification. So that's it. But most of the times they enter into Vaikuntha as long as they have that understand that they are servant of the Supreme Lord. They understand the position of themselves, position of the Supreme Lord clearly without any ambiguity. They want to serve. There is no material inabilities. Then they will be able to enter into spiritual. Otherwise, they will come back and continue their journey in this material world.
Yes, Prabhu, got it.
Okay.
Hari bol, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavat pranam, everyone.
Thank you.
Dandavat pranam to you.